Carl Gustav Jung, a pioneering Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst, introduced the concept of individuation as a cornerstone of his analytical psychology. Individuation, in Jungian terms, refers to the lifelong psychological process of differentiation of the self out of each individual's conscious and unconscious elements. It is the process through which a person becomes a unique, indivisible whole. Unlike Freud, who emphasized the role of early childhood experiences and sexual drives in shaping personality, the journey of individuation is at its core the path to discovering the true self, beyond societal roles, masks, and internalized expectations. Jung believed that the psyche consists of three primary structures: the conscious ego, the personal unconscious, and the collective unconscious. The ego represents our conscious thoughts, memories, and identity, the I we are aware of. The personal unconscious houses memories and experiences that were once conscious but have since been forgotten or repressed. The collective unconscious, perhaps Jung's most revolutionary idea, is a shared psychic inheritance containing archetypes. Individuation involves bringing harmony between these layers of the psyche. The process of individuation cannot begin without the ego becoming aware that it is not the entirety of the self. Jung observed that most people live primarily through their egos, mistaking their social persona, the mask they wear in public, for their true identity. This persona, though necessary for functioning in society, can become a prison if one identifies with it too closely. The first step in individuation is the realization that the persona is just a fragment of the total self. Shedding this mask, or at least recognizing its limits, is a critical awakening moment. Following this awareness, the journey turns inward. Individuals encounter the shadow, a crucial Jungian concept referring to the unconscious aspects of personality that the ego does not recognize or accept. These can be traits, desires, and instincts that one represses or denies. The shadow is not inherently negative. It also contains positive creative potential that has been marginalized. Confronting and integrating the shadow is an essential part of individuation. Jung emphasized that true self-knowledge comes only when we acknowledge and assimilate these disowned parts of ourselves. As the shadow becomes more integrated, the individual may then encounter archetypal images from the collective unconscious. One of the most powerful of these is the anima, animus, the inner feminine in men and inner masculine in women. These contrasexual archetypes challenge the rigidity of gender roles and invite a more balanced psychological integration. For a man, accepting his anima means reconnecting with emotional sensitivity and intuition, while for a woman, the animus encourages assertiveness and rationality. This inner marriage of opposites symbolizes a deeper unity within the self. Another central archetype in the individuation process is the self, the totality of the psyche, both conscious and unconscious. The self represents the goal of individuation, the archetype of wholeness. It is not to be confused with the ego, which is merely a part of the self. To individuate is to become increasingly aware of and aligned with the self. Jung likened this process to a journey toward the center, symbolized by mandalas in various spiritual traditions. These circular images, often appearing spontaneously in dreams or art, reflect a psyche's natural inclination toward balance and unity. Dreams play a crucial role in individuation. Jung viewed dreams as the language of the unconscious and a window into the soul's journey. Through dream analysis, individuals can discover messages from the unconscious that reveal areas of imbalance, hidden conflicts, and potential paths forward. Dreams often present symbols and narratives that, when interpreted, point to where one is in the individuation process. For example, recurring dreams of being chased may indicate a shadow element that is being avoided, while dreams of integration or wholeness can signify progress toward the self. Individuation is not a linear path but a spiraling journey filled with challenges, regressions, and transformations. Jung emphasized that this process often involves a night sea journey, or a descent into the depths of the unconscious, akin to mythological journeys into the underworld. These phases can be marked by confusion, depression, or crisis, what Jung called the dark night of the soul. Such experiences, though painful, are opportunities for profound psychological growth and rebirth. Out of these depths, a more authentic and integrated self can emerge. Jung also emphasized the importance of symbols in mythology and individuation. He believed that myths, fairy tales, and religious narratives across cultures are expressions of archetypal patterns within the collective unconscious. By studying these stories, individuals can gain insights into their own psychological development. The hero's journey, for example, mirrors the path of individuation, leaving the known world, facing trials, confronting inner demons, receiving guidance from mentors and returning transformed. These narratives offer guidance and resonance, affirming that one is not alone in the journey. Art and active imagination are additional tools Jung advocated for in the individuation process. Active imagination involves engaging with the images and figures that arise in dreams or meditation, allowing them to speak and evolve within the psyche. This dialogue between the conscious mind and unconscious contents fosters integration. Jung himself practiced active imagination, most notably during the period he recorded in the Red Book, where he explored his inner world through visions, drawings, and narratives. Through this creative engagement, he discovered deep truths about the psyche and its dynamics. Individuation is also about accepting one's uniqueness. In a world that often pressures conformity, Jung's philosophy encourages individuals to honor their distinct path. This does not mean rejecting society, but rather participating in it from a place of inner authenticity. An individuated person does not merely adapt to external expectations but acts from a place of self-knowledge and inner alignment. This authenticity leads to greater psychological health, resilience, and a sense of meaning. The ethical implications of individuation are profound. As individuals become more conscious of their inner dynamics, they also become more responsible for their actions. Jung argued that individuation leads to a moral awareness rooted in wholeness rather than societal rules. By confronting and integrating the shadow, one becomes less prone to projecting negativity onto others. This reduces conflict and fosters compassion. Jung believed that if more people undertook the work of individuation, society as a whole would benefit. Religious and spiritual experiences often accompany individuation. Jung saw religion as a symbolic expression of psychological truths and not merely dogma. He was particularly interested in the mystical traditions of various faiths, including Gnosticism, alchemy, Buddhism, and Hinduism. These traditions, he believed, offered symbolic maps of individuation. Alchemy, in particular, fascinated Jung, who saw it as a metaphor for psychological transformation, the transmutation of base elements unconscious drives into gold, the self. Jung's concept of synchronicity, meaningful coincidences that cannot be explained by causality, also relates to individuation. As individuals align more with their inner truth, they may begin to notice external events that resonate with their internal state. These synchronicities suggest an underlying unity between psyche and matter, reinforcing the sense that individuation is not merely a personal endeavor but part of a greater, interconnected whole. While individuation is a personal journey, it is not solipsistic. Jung stressed the importance of relationships in the process. Encounters with others, especially in intimate relationships, often mirror our inner world and challenge us to grow. Partners can reflect back our shadow, our projections, and our unlived potentials. Navigating these dynamics with awareness contributes to individuation. Jung saw the tension between self and other not as a problem to be eliminated, but as a vital source of development. In therapeutic settings, the process of individuation becomes central. Jungian analysis focuses not only on symptom relief, but on fostering self-understanding and wholeness. The analyst serves as a guide, not an authority, helping the client explore dreams, symbols, and unconscious material. Through this work, clients begin to recognize their own inner guidance and embark on the individuation journey. Therapy thus becomes a sacred space for transformation. Throughout his life, Jung maintained that individuation is not reserved for the elite or the intellectually gifted. It is a potential within every human being. However, it requires courage, patience, and a willingness to confront discomfort. It involves stepping into the unknown, questioning assumptions, and risking change. Yet the rewards are profound, a life lived with depth, purpose, and authenticity. Jung's vision of individuation challenges the modern tendency toward external validation and superficial achievement. In a culture that often prizes speed, productivity, and conformity, individuation calls for introspection, contemplation, and inner work. It invites us to listen to the quiet voice within, to honor our dreams and symbols, and to trust in the unfolding of the psyche. It is a deeply human journey, rooted in the mysteries of the unconscious and the striving for wholeness. Jung did not claim that individuation leads to perfection, rather it leads to completeness, the integration of light and shadow, masculine and feminine, conscious and unconscious. It is about becoming who one truly is, not who one is expected to be. This authentic selfhood brings with it a sense of peace, clarity, and a deeper connection to the world. In the final analysis, individuation is a sacred task. It is the unfolding of the soul's potential, the dance of opposites seeking unity, the emergence of the self from the depths of the unconscious. Jung's legacy lies not only in his theories, but in his invitation to each of us to embark on this inner quest. In doing so, we contribute not only to our own fulfillment, but to the healing and evolution of humanity.